Hey, what's up out there, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be another day where I'm dealing with the 300. The last video I did on it, I was using some products that I found from, I believe it was O'Reilly's Auto Parts, but today, let's put this in a nutshell, okay? A week ago, last week, I went to get the front end aligned, because I did some work on the front end. They're aligning and everything, but when I got in the vehicle, but even before I got there, I've heard this clunking noise, clunk, 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 coming from the front end. Now I've replaced just about everything up in the front end, but it was something that I did wrong. I know I did it wrong, so I'm gonna let me get this car up in the air. I'm gonna get it up in the air, and so you all can take a look at it. If you got any comments on what you think it may be, I believe I know what it is. So it was something that I did wrong on there. We do make mistakes sometimes. So let's get it up in the air and take a look, and I'll show you what's happening. All right, so this is another one of my non-paid advertisement things right here. This is one of my go-to tools. I love this Harbor Freight Hyper Tough. It's got a 20 volt max battery on this thing with a 4-hour battery, and you notice also it's brushless in the back. And I got this from Walmart. I think it was like 99 bucks, 100 bucks. But I tell you, it's got really great torque to it. As you can see, take some screws right off of it. Not screws, but nuts. Bolts. Nuts, lug nuts. So now I got the whole spring off, and I'm gonna show you. This is where I went wrong at. This is where I messed up at. You see this little corner piece right there? That's supposed to fit up in there, okay? And down here, that piece is supposed to fit up in there, which basically tells me, because I can't adjust this. This won't adjust because this is on here. This won't adjust to move around. I tried to get it to move around. Either it's the wrong size spring. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this spring off, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put my other ones back on here. But what I can do is, and I thought about this, you can trim off an inch of the coil springs that'll give you that that lower drop in the front. You can trim this off from and it's supposed to be from the side that stands up. Which that side stands up. So therefore it's going to be trimmed off from the bottom, because that piece on the bottom is the one that is going to set in. All right, so I got these, and I'm gonna show you also. I got these coil spring compressors here. These are mine. I bought them off of eBay. I got them off eBay because the ones I tried to get in O'Reilly's, the ones I tried to rent from them, and I tried to get some from Harbor Freight. They would not fit between these coils. Okay, these like these coils right here. They wouldn't go between it because they were too thick. So I got these, which were a thinner one, but they are some real good tough metal, and I'm gonna get them off with it. All right, now you see I got my the spring compressors on. I'm gonna tell you, the first time I did this, I was scared shitless. I'm serious, I was scared to death, because you hear horror stories about these spring compressors. They call these things widowmakers, okay? Because if you don't have it on there right, don't get it right, that spring comes flying off at you at the speed of a bullet. Because it's a lot of pressure behind that thing. But since I did it, and after a while, now I'm more comfortable with it now. I'm a little bit more comfortable with it than I was before. So not as afraid as I was, but but just making sure. But you just got to make sure that when you're putting it on here, that your clamps are down inside of, like right there, that are clamped onto the springs. You see one right here and one right there, and you got the other one on the other side. So I got this off, got the spring off, and now I just gotta unloosen these right here to bring this down. So maybe it might be best if I hold this thing down. That's why I'm trying to turn it. Okay. There we go. Get it loose. Get it up there. There we go. There's one off. The other one off. All right, now I want y'all to see. I got this is the lowering springs, okay? You can see they're open a little bit wider than these right here are. So, and they're not fitting in the slots like they're supposed to fit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this, put the black ones back on, I'm gonna trim it. What I think I'm gonna have to do. Now, this is right here, this is the bottom of the coil, where it sits in the bottom of the shell. This is the top, and the top piece, I believe, is what I'm gonna have to cut. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a tape right across right here, and I'm gonna cut it right here. So once I cut it right here, this piece right here will still be lined up for when I set this back on it, it'll fit right back there in that same slot, okay? Because as you can see, that the way that these three holes go, they're like a triangle, but they're not at the same diameter apart. I mean, from there to there is apart further, and right here is real short. So it's gotta fit in that slot. And even down there at the bottom of the shock, it has to fit where the sway bar link is at. So I'm gonna get some tape and put some tape on it, and I'm gonna use one of my cutting wheels, you know, just a grinder to cut it off with. I got the old one off, the red one, which was right over there, and I got this one on. You know, you saw me cut it, and but I think I did something wrong, okay? I cut it from the top part of the coil, and I've been looking at a few videos, and everybody on the video said that you should cut it from the bottom part of the coil so it'll meet evenly, because the top, and this is what they were talking about. So, you know, I might have messed up. I'll know afterwards. If you turn this spring upside down, this coil upside down, that's how it sits flat. The bottom is the top of the strut, okay? But if you turn it over this side over here, it won't sit straight up and down, and that is the bottom part, which the bottom has to fit flat up in that slot. So this time, I'll cut the other one on the other side from the bottom part of the coil. I cut it down there instead of cutting it up there. You can see, here's where I cut the other one out there. So, I mean, you know, got to do what I got to do. So I cut this off at the same point that the other one was, so that that'll meet in the slots just like it is on the other side. Now I got to take the other springs off. All right, so I got both springs off on both sides. That's the driver's side over there. I got that one on. I got it connected. And going around over here to the passenger side. I want y'all to see Hope it's enough light over here. It's a little bit darker over on this side, but I got this one on as well. And everything on here is bolted up, ready to go. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is no cakewalk, okay? I mean, you know, it may seem simple when you see people, you know, doing it on videos and stuff like that. You know, basically, if you got the right tools, you can get the vehicle up right. You know, if you can get your vehicle up on the ground where you can stand up and do some of the work, it's a whole lot easier than laying down, you know, and getting it on the ground. It's a little bit harder. You know, that's why shops can do it and can do it a whole lot faster. Now what I got to do is I got to tighten up these bolts, which are right here. I just got them loose. That one over there, the ones on the other side. But I'm going to let the vehicle down and put some partial weight on the tires before I tie those all the way down, so that therefore, you know, they won't bind up the rubber bushings, you know, in these in the upper control arms, that is. So, and you can see a little bit better up in here. All right, so I'm gonna get the wheels on it, lower down some, and we'll go from there. Okay. So I let the car down some, but I only put partial of the weight all the way on it. You see, I still got it up. And the reason why is because I have to tighten up. I have a bolt that's back here that's to the upper control arm. I got to tighten up. And I also got one that's up under this little piece right here, which I had the hardest time in the world dealing with to get this up. So I'm going to get that up, get those two bolts tightened up, then let it all the way down. All right. I got the entire vehicle set down, and you can see it's a little bit higher up in the front end, but that'll set down some. But it is level. It's not sitting up in the front end, it's level. And that's gonna rest down a little bit more as those springs, you know, relax by the weight that's getting up on it. But you see I got it running and everything. I'm getting ready to take it out on a test drive and see what it does, you know, and see if we still got the clunking noise and the bumping noise and rattle, bang, boom, boom, and all that crap. It's still going on or not, and we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, so here we go. Wish me luck, you know. I mean, hopefully the bumping, clunking, and all that stuff is stopped. And if it hasn't, you know, I always say a prayer and ask God to, you know, help me to guide me through whatever that I need to get fixed, you know. And if it doesn't get fixed, you know, okay, I'm gonna praise Him anyway. Then there's something else that I need to do, okay? But right now, I've done all I can do, so let's see what happens. All right, we're going out. All right, everybody, we're about to go out on House Ferry Road. I'm gonna do it on the street and, you know, hit a couple of bumpy places and see what happens. And you know, we'll just see what happens. But so we got cars coming down this way here. I'm gonna go to my right and then come back on my left. That's what I'm gonna do. I was gonna go down that way, but instead I'm gonna go down that way. Okay. All right. Once they get out, I want to make sure everybody's out of my way. Now, I did a double check like I always do to make sure that all my bolts and everything is tightened up. And you got to be careful when you're doing that, because one thing you don't want to do, and I'm a witness, I am a witness, you can't over torque. Okay. All right. Now, the wheel still seems like it's in line. I'm still hearing a little something clunk. Yeah, I'm still hearing a little something clunk up under there. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I got a little something going on up under there. Not as bad as it was at first, because at first it was like really just rattling all over the place. So, I don't know, I'm gonna go down here and turn around and come back. So I decided to get out and take a look around at it and see what it was doing. It's not as low as it was. You can see it. But I mean, you know, it's got, you know, a little bit, but it's level. It doesn't seem like it's jacked up in the front, and that's something I didn't want, is for it to look like it was all jacked up in the front of it. Okay. Still hearing a little something rattle. You know what? What I need to do is I need to have somebody else drive it, me driving on the side of it, and just look to see if I can see, you know, exactly what's happening with this thing. Because I like the car, I want to keep the car, but if I can't get it right, I'm gonna burn it up. I don't think I'm gonna burn it up, but you know. And let's see. And at first, when I turned the wheel all the way to the left, I get a clumping noise. Now I don't get that no more. I don't get that clump no more that I got. And I'm gonna turn it all the way to the right. I used to get a bloop like that, but now I'm not getting that anymore. So therefore, I cured some of the problems. Some of the problem I got cured, but I'm not sure exactly, you know, I have all the problem cured. This time I drive it, take it down the street, and I'm gonna get it up to speed, get it up to about 55 miles an hour. So. All right, so I'm back here at the shop with it, and it's not as bad as it was, and it really isn't. You know, the ride is smooth. I just hate hearing blumps and clunks. Maybe I can live with it, but the thing about it is I want to just make sure there's not nothing that's going to fall off or have my wheels breaking in or something like that, you know? So, you know what? This I'm going to tell you something, really. This 300 is giving me a headache. You know, it's making my head hurt, and, you know, I've been dealing with this thing. Good running motor, great running motor. Motor starts right up, runs good. But I don't know. I got something else that's going on with it, and I don't know. Maybe it's time for me to get rid of it. I don't know. What do y'all think? So, anywho, you know, if you like this video, you know, hit the like buttons, you know, the subscribe buttons, and, you know, notification buttons. Still trying to get the numbers up, trying to get them up as much as possible. But, you know, it is what it is, and I'll just keep on keeping on what I'm keeping on with. So I'm going to get something to eat because it's well past lunchtime. As a matter of fact, it's after 1 o'clock. I've been out here all morning, and I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thanks. See you.